Yes guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the best 5-day split to build muscle, lose fat, get in shape, whatever you want to call it. I've been getting a lot of questions on this topic. I did my 3-day plan, I did my 4-day plan, and a lot of you guys are asking for a 5-day plan. Disclaimer, I don't think this is the best way to train. If your goal is to build muscle, be in shape all year round, I think for a lot of people, this is overkill. But if I had to program it, and I did this for years, I've run a push-pull legs upper lower for years, this is how I would do it, okay? And we are gonna run a push-pull legs upper lower. Everything will be trained twice in a week. I'm gonna go over every movement, why I've picked it, why you should do it, and then some other things here like reps, sets, days off, tempo, recovery, deloads, and if you should do it in a bulk or a cut. So let's dive in. First things first, we have our push session, okay? Now, what is the goal? Yeah, the goal is to build muscle, look good, look beach ready. We all know what the goal is, okay? So our exercises need to take us in that direction. So we have an incline bench as our first movement and a flat dumbbell press as our second movement, okay? Just stick with me, I'll go over all the reps and sets and stuff. In my opinion, from years and years of training and training hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clients doing thousands of hours of PT, the incline press is a superior movement to the flat dumbbell press, okay? Or an incline press where you're moving in this plane is gonna help you, make you look better as a guy than moving in this plane. A lot more pec tears and injuries in this flat plane here. The incline is just a better position. It works the clavicular fibers of the upper pec, under the collarbone, the top portion. It works the delts more, it still works your chest. Of course, that can be an incline dumbbell press into a flat bench. I'm just not a big fan of a flat bench press. Any like experienced lifter eventually moves away from a flat bench press when they realize it just destroys your shoulders and doesn't build your chest. So we're going incline bench to begin with. Why? Because this is the movement we're gonna lift the most amount of weight on in this session. We are at our strongest, at our freshest. I like the idea of being able to just unrack a bench and go, okay? After we're gonna do this, we're then gonna move to our flat dumbbell press. When I say flat dumbbell press, I prefer dumbbells over a bench, as I've just said. This can be a flat machine press. It can be, okay? And I just wanted to put a dumbbell press in there because I want to keep it as compound, kind of heavy as I can. But this could be an incline dumbbell press into a flat machine press or incline bench flat dumbbell press. They are the same, really. Pick the one that you feel hits your chest the best. We're then going to move into a lateral raise before our dip. Why? Okay, I don't want to go incline bench into flat dumbbell press straight into dip. These are 3 big, hard pressing movements. I'm going to be pretty smoked by the time I come to my dip, and I'm going to really struggle to progress this lift over time, okay? So we're going to go incline bench, flat dumbbell press, lateral raises with dumbbells. That gives us about 10 minutes of recovery time before we go into our dip, which is a pec dominant, front delt dominant, and tricep dominant movement. There's no like lateral abduction, which is what happens in a lateral raise. So I'm only doing this first to try and buy me some time to recover so I can have a better dipping session, okay? Of course, you can put these guys the other way around. This is just how I would do it. And then from here, I'm gonna go into 2 tricep exercises, which is gonna be a long rope. The long rope, if you haven't got it and you've just got the 2, you put them together. A long rope tricep push down, okay? And then I'll do a couple sets there and then I'd pair it into an overhead, the same movement. I'll just drop it down on the cable. You can superset these guys together. You think a push workout, chest, delts, and triceps, pecs, 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 shoulders, 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 triceps, 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 triceps. Everything is nuked, okay? Don't do 500 exercises, this is plenty. If anything, it's almost overkill. That's the push session. We move into the pull session, okay? The first movement, as always, is gonna be that chin up. I always bias a chin up because it's a great bicep builder, it's a great rear delt builder, it's a great back builder. It's just the GOAT when it comes to back exercises. Ideally, we want a weighted chin up. Of course, not everyone can do weighted chin ups. That might be a 50 kilo pull down for you, that becomes a 55 kilo pull down, that becomes a 60 kilo pull down, that becomes an assisted chin up, that becomes an unaided chin up into a weighted chin up. You work towards a weighted chin up. As I've said in many videos, find me someone that can do chin ups with 20 kilos attached to them for 10 reps that doesn't have really big arms and really big back. You just won't find them. Then we're going to move into a pendlay row. So why have I chosen a Pendley row? I want a row which targets the lower back as well, okay? So we're looking at a Pendley row, a T-bar row, or a barbell row. I like the Pendley row because you have a little bit more control than the barbell row. People kind of just end up doing shrugs with their barbell row. I'm a big fan of the Pendley row, big fan of the T-bar row. We want a row that's going to cause some load in the spine, and you're gonna have to hold yourself horizontal to the floor. It's gonna train your abs, it's gonna train your lower back, it's gonna allow you to build more muscle and have a more thicker, dense physique. Muy importante, yeah? Then we're gonna move into a pull down, right? With the pull down, we're gonna do something slightly different to the chin up. If the chin up is a neutral grip chin up, our pull down might be a supinated pull down or a slightly pronated wide grip pull down here, not here yet. We're not doing, this is not a pull down. We're here, here, or here, okay? If this is again, if you're going a horizontal chin up like this, we'd go into a neutral grip pull down with like a mag grip or something. Notice, guys, how I haven't got things like single arm pull downs, single arm rows. For 99% of you who just want to build a good physique, which is what I'm all about, building the complete physique, a good beach body physique that stands a test of time that you can have for 20, 30, 40 years. I don't want to spend 40 minutes doing single arm pull downs, having to set the bench up on a cable, angle it right so I can bias the fibers in my lats and then continue to do a pull down with 6 kilos. It takes 5 minutes on this side, 5 minutes on that side. Then I go into a single arm row and then my back workout takes me 4 hours. No. Your favorite bodybuilder that does single arm pull downs got a huge back from doing chins and rows. Sorry, and loads of steroids, okay? Now, we're get in, get out, all of the big movements, okay? We wanna use big compound lifts that break down a lot of muscle, chins, heavy rows, pull downs that's slightly different to the chin up. Then we're gonna move into a chest supported row. We've already nuked the lower back in the Pendley row. We do not want to we're going to have a lot of lower back fatigue here. So we want a row that's chest supported, especially for what we've got coming the next day, okay? So you've got to think about what's coming on this leg day. You don't want to go into a squat day with a cooked lower back. The heavier you get, the stronger you get, the more you feel things like in your lower back and in your knees and stuff, and you've got to be careful loading things in different ways. A chest supported row, a chest supported T-bar row, a cable row, a machine row, anything that is chest supported that doesn't put load on the back. Simple, okay? You're 2 horizontal rows, 2 vertical pulls, okay? Then we're gonna hit a reverse fly because we do wanna target our rear delts, because when you're talking about building a complete physique and a rounded shoulder, you do wanna have this kind of popping a little bit. It creates a really nice look in the shoulder. Now, rear delts, rear delts, rear delts, rear delts. So it's not crucial, but a lot of the time it will be lagging behind. Someone knocking on my door? No. A lot of the time it will be lagging behind. Reverse, pec deck fly, cable fly, dumbbell reverse flies. It's all the same stuff. I would opt for a reverse pec deck fly, as you can just keep tension on the rear delts. It's a little bit better. Then we move into a bicep curl. We only really, in my opinion, need 3 sets of curls here. Maybe 6 sets if you're looking at triceps, but we've got biceps really nuked here. Biceps, 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 biceps. It's a very small muscle. You don't need to do 25 sets on your bicep. How do people do the same amount of sets on their bicep than they do on their quads? Yeah? 3 good quality curls trying to progress over time, plus getting stronger at chins, stronger at rows, you're gonna have big biceps. Done. Moving on to legs, okay? Remember, we didn't want to nuke our lower back too much. We only got a few sets here, probably 2 sets on these rows, which I'll get into. Coming into legs, our first leg session of the week, which is, I don't want to say it's more of a quad bias leg session because you work the whole leg in both sessions, but it is going to be squat based, okay? Now, I am a little bit old school, and the majority of you guys that watch this channel aren't huge muscular bodybuilders, and you could all do with having more muscle across your whole body. No disrespect, if you're in amazing shape, that wasn't aimed at you. But if you're somebody that looks in the mirror, you want more muscle, you want less body fat, you don't feel like you've got a great physique, you should probably be squatting. You should probably be squatting. If you're doing leg extensions and leg presses because you're not squatting, I guarantee you, you don't have great legs. And if you're someone that says, yeah, Max, I can't squat because my lower back hurts, then fix why your lower back hurts. Fix your core, strengthen it. You do some core stability exercises. Work on planks, side planks, bird dogs, modified curl ups, stirring the pots. Work on core stability, single arm weighted carries, rack pulls. Get strong so that you can eventually squat and deadlift pain-free. It's not normal to go into a squat and your lower back is destroyed for 3 months. There's an issue there that you need to look at. It's not the squat, it's your back. This is a great movement for building huge mass in the legs. We need it, okay? Obviously, it's a huge spinal loading exercise. So we're gonna then come into a hamstring curl afterwards, which gives the lower back a chance to recover. So we've got quads and glutes, hamstrings. We're then gonna move into, ideally, a Bulgarian split squat. That can be a normal split squat if you're a beginner. That can be a walking lunge. A Bulgarian split squat, this is 97% men that watch this channel. We're all pretty tight, and it's a nice feeling to have the back foot elevated on a bench, okay? And as you come down into that Bulgarian split squat and get nice and deep, we feel a lot of tension in our quad and glute, and then we have a nice stretch in that back hip flexor. It's gonna alleviate some lower back pain and make you more mobile. I'd really recommend bringing it in. We all hate it, it's hard and it sucks. And it's just horrendous. That's why you should have it in. Also, quick side note, guys, if you want me to take a deep dive into any of this stuff when it comes to training, nutrition, losing body fat, reverse dieting, building muscle, maintaining muscle, everything is in my course, which I'll link below in every video. All of these videos are kind of directing you there because I took a deep dive and filmed it for 2 weeks. Had to do the shameless plug, hear me out. From here, we've given the lower back a rest in a hamstring curl. We're not really nuking it in a Bulgarian split squat. I then recommend coming into a dumbbell RDL if your lower back allows, okay? This is gonna be a slightly higher rep range, very, very different to the regular RDL that's coming in later on, but we do want a second hamstring exercise in there, and a dumbbell RDL with a 12 to 15 rep range isn't as taxing on the lower back as like outrageously heavy RDLs, okay? So I really recommend squat, hamstring curls, Bulgarian split squats, or a lunge into a dumbbell RDL. Why don't we switch these two together? If you think, well, that's harder than that. If you're advanced, going from doing, like if it's me and I'm squatting 160 kilos for 10, and then doing probably 140 kilos for 10, and then maybe like 120 for 10, I'm not then going and picking up the 50 kilo dumbbells to do dumbbell RDLs. I'm just completely cooked. I'll go take a break, hamstring curls, slightly lighter Bulgarian split squats, and then I'm good to come back into this. This is taking me a good 20 minutes to recover. Yeah? Then your next exercise is going to be something of your choice. Now, if you're someone that's got tiny quads, I'd recommend going into a leg press. If you're somebody that's got, you have got great quads, but you've got tiny weak glutes, I'd recommend going into something like a hip thrust. If you want overall size and to a complete leg, you could go into some adductors and also some calves. But you don't want to do all 4 of these, in my opinion. You want to probably go adductors and calves and then pick one of these, either a leg press or some glute work, okay? You've got enough hamstring. That's a complete leg session, all right? Stick with me. I hope this is filming, yeah. Next, a day off. Day off. The most important part of this is that day off. You are cooked, okay? Push, pull, legs off, okay? Into our upper body session. Now, we're going OHP, overhead press, okay? This does work the upper chest a little bit because you're gonna press here, you're gonna come through, so you are gonna hit the fibers of the upper pec. It's a great shoulder builder. Is it necessary? Is it the most important movement in the world? No. Do I like it? Yes. We've got the overhead press coming in, and then we're gonna come into the chin up. I want you guys doing chin ups twice a week, okay? You can recover from them quickly. They're a great arm builder, great back builder, and they're just so important for a complete physique. Overhead press into it. So we have pressing this way, then we have pulling this way, the opposite, okay? Then we're gonna go into a slightly flat press. Again, I'm not a huge fan of flat pressing, as I said, so I'd probably have this as like a flat dumbbell press, 1 click up, 10 or 20 degrees. And again, this could also be a machine press, but I think you're in a good position here to go into a nice dumbbell press. So 1 click up from flat, slight incline press, if you will. There's our pressing exercise. We're then gonna go into a chest supported row because of what's coming here, okay? Because this is more important than you loading your back here. Cable row, machine row, high to low row, low to high row, whichever one you guys fancy that's in your gym. We're then gonna move into a lateral raise here. Now, this can be done with dumbbells or it can be done with cables. If you're going dumbbells there, you might wanna go cables there. The only difference is with a dumbbell lateral raise, you have a lot of weight at the top part. So when the delt is short, it's hard and it's super easy here. With a cable, because it tends to come from there and you pull it from the machine, it's harder in the lengthened position when the delt is long and it drops off massively at the top. Which one should you do? Both, obviously. Lateral raise, cable, and then we're going to move into one bicep movement, one tricep movement. Honestly, guys, I would have it the same as that and I'd have it the same as that. So if that is just a regular bicep curl, I would do it twice per week with the goal of getting stronger over time, because that's all that matters with immaculate form. And I'd do either your push down, overhead, or I'd pair them together here, okay? You don't want to do all these different bicep exercises. One day you do a cable curl, then you're doing pronated curls, then you're doing Zottoman curls, then you're doing 21s, then you've got easy bar curls. No, get really fucking good at curling, really fucking good at chin-ups, and watch what happens to your biceps. Don't overcomplicate this stuff. I did it for years. I wasted so much time, don't be me. Right, lower, yeah? Day off, upper, lower. Lower back is fresh. We go into a barbell RDL or a traditional deadlift, or if you're slightly homosexual, a sumo deadlift, that was a joke, or a trap bar deadlift. I would rather you didn't do a trap bar deadlift. It's very quad dominant, keeps you very upright, and it's kind of going to ruin this second movement. We want a real hinge. The RDL or a stiff leg deadlift off the floor is going to be your best bet, okay? That's going to destroy your body if you've done it right. You then move into a hack squat or a pendulum. Ideally one of these guys. If you don't have it, it would be a leg press. These guys are so much better. There's so much more range here. We love a hack squat. We love a pendulum squat. No loading on the spine because we're cooked from this. We then move into a hamstring curl here because, and if this is a seated hamstring curl, this is a prone hamstring curl, prone, seated. Try and change it a little bit. And then we want to move into a lunge variation. We can go Bulgarian split squats again, even though you probably won't want to. If you went Bulgarians here, you can go walking lunge here. You can kind of mix it up, but it's a single leg exercise. Split squat, lunge, Bulgarian, yeah? Great for quads, great for knee health, ankle mobility, glute strength. Just a really good exercise, very good for sport as well. And then we move into our weak area, either the leg press, hip thrust, adductors and calves, or a little bit of each. Okay, that, and then we take a day off, maybe even 2 days off, repeat. I wouldn't even mind going push-pull legs off, upper, lower, off, off, repeat. You do not grow in the gym, you grow outside of the gym. Now, reps and sets, very, very important, yeah? Let's talk about reps. With our big compound lifts, we want to be anywhere from that, I don't want to say 6, that's 6 to kind of 12 rep range, yeah? So you want to be like 6 to 12 here. Like it's very hard to go weighted chin-ups for 12. This is always going to be like 6 to 8 if you're going heavy. Dips, again. So we want to be getting strong anywhere from that 6 to like 12 to 15 rep range. So just take your pick. Run it for a few months, running sets of 8 on the incline press, sets of 8 on the chin-ups, 10 on the dips. Eventually, then you go 10 to maybe 6s here. You change it up. Change it every so often, okay? In terms of sets, this is a big one here. There's a lot of volume here, okay? If you know me, you know I'm big on the 3-day and 4-day plans because you get more recovery. This is a lot of volume. Like I'm 31 right now. This would destroy me. I would have to run this 2 sets of bench. That's a heavy, heavy set of 6 to 8, and then a slightly lighter set, but still to absolute failure of 8 to 10. I'd go 2 sets, 2 sets, 3 sets, 2 sets, 3 sets, 2 sets, 2 sets, 3 sets, 3 sets, 3 sets, 3 sets. The big hard hitters become 2 sets. You kind of get the point, yeah? Squats, 2 sets, hamstring curls, 3 sets, Bulgarians, 2 sets, RDLs, probably 3 sets. Overhead press, 2 sets, 2 sets, 2 sets, 3 sets, 3 sets, 2 sets, 2 sets, 3 sets. Basically, the really, really hard stuff that creates a massive amount of fatigue, you do heavy set and a back off set. But if you're a complete beginner and you don't feel too much fatigue and you feel great, run it at 3 sets. In terms of days off, we've gone over that tempo. We really want to do everything under control. I've got a video coming out where I'm going to go over the top movements to perform, and I'm going to do like form techniques and everything. In terms of tempo, we create more damage when a muscle is lengthening. We want to stress a muscle in its lengthened position. We want to pause there. We also want to pause in the short position. So you'll often see tempo like this, 4, 1, 1, 1, or 3, 1, 1, 1, yeah? 4 seconds on the way down, 1 second at the bottom, 1 second on the way back up, 1 second at the top. So let's take an incline bench, for example, yeah, or a flat press. We're gonna go press for 1, hold, 3, 2, 1, hold, press. When the muscle is lengthening under load, do it slowly. When the muscle gets into a stretch position, which is where it is at its weakest, pause and spend time there, okay? You don't wanna go and like miss it. As I come down into my press, here, my pec lengthens. Spend half a second to a second in that lengthened position. That's when you're gonna build the most muscle, and then press out of there nice and quick, okay? Tempo is crucial. Don't increase weight until you've got form and tempo dialed. Recovery. You can train all day long. If you're not sleeping well and eating properly, you'll just look like shit and you won't recover. I think it's hard to recover from a 5-day split, but that's just me. Once you get to a certain level and you really do get fatigued, you need more days off, okay? This is why I bias a 4-day split. And if I was really, really, really busy, I would bias a 3-day split. And if I was a complete beginner, I would do a 3-day split. This is a bit more advanced, okay? Deloads. This is going to cook you at some point. So we're looking to deload. When do you do a deload? When your performance massively suffers and starts to go down, when you feel huge amounts of fatigue, and when you just can't recover. That's when you'd run a deload. Every 12 weeks, 16 weeks, 8 weeks, a deload would be 3 or 4 days off completely, or you'd run this at maybe 2 sets on everything at 50% of the load, a deload week. But from my experience over the years, a deload will choose you. You don't choose a deload. You'll get a little niggle, or you'll have a holiday, or something comes up. There's your deload. Bulks or cuts. Do we do this in a bulk? Do we do it in a cut? You can do it in both. The routine that built your muscle is going to keep your muscle in a deficit. You could run this in a bulk, you could run it in a cut, you could run it in a maintenance plan. It doesn't matter. For me personally, as I know fatigue creeps up in a dieting phase, I'd rather run a 4-day plan and have that extra day off to do some cardio and keep my hunger at bay so I can sit steeper into a deficit. Anyway, guys, that was a long-winded way of showing you what I think is the best 5-day split, okay? There's a lot of stuff I've left out there. You don't need too many exercises. You don't need too many sets. You need intensity. You need to push these big compound lifts to failure. As always, my course is down below. My coaching is in the links as well. See you guys in the next one.